Hello, everyone. Well, some good news on this Good Friday after the crazy winds yesterday with gusts 50, 55, even 60 miles per hour in spots. Winds are going to be a lot lighter across Iowa today. Unfortunately, our temperatures still staying chilly, cooler than we should be this time of year, and that's going to be sticking around through the Easter weekend. Our high temperature staying about 10 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of year, which means we still got snow chances to talk about. Even as early as this morning, can't rule out a couple of flurries of snow around Waterloo or Dubuque. For the Quad Cities, I think it's going to be rain, and no heavy rain out there if you do have to go to work today, but there is a chance of showers from Waterloo on to the east. Des Moines, Mason City, Sioux City, looking like it's going to stay dry through the daytime hours. Notice a better chance of seeing rain is this morning in the eastern part of the state. I still have to leave in the chance for maybe a few sprinkles around the Quad Cities for the afternoon, but I think the afternoon is going to be dry around the Waterloo area. It will be breezy in the western part of the state, but no crazy winds like yesterday. In fact, in the eastern part of the state, I don't even think I can call it breezy. There's not going to be much wind at all. Now, as we get into the evening hours, notice how some rain does try to push back into the western and central part of the state. Meanwhile, Quad Cities looking like a dry evening for you, but I do have to mention, again, nothing big, but the chance is there for some isolated rain showers, maybe a few flakes of snow trying to mix in. That said, this activity that pushes into the western and central part of the state does fizzle out overnight. And it is looking like Saturday is going to be a dry day for us. But look at these temperatures starting out Saturday morning. Yeah, pretty cold, and there's not going to be much of a warm-up as we get into the afternoon. Certainly not as warm as we'd like it to be. Check out 2 o'clock in the afternoon, mainly in the mid to low 40s across the state. Now, we'll probably warm a little bit more. I think a lot of folks will end up topping out in the upper 40s, but we should be in the low 60s this time of year. It does look breezy across the entire state tomorrow, but again, we're just talking about gusts 20, 25 miles per hour, nothing like what we saw yesterday. And even as we get into the evening hours, still dry across the state. So Saturday evening plans are okay. But notice how the cloud cover is starting to thicken back up. So when's our next chance at seeing some rain and, yes, some snow? I think at the earliest it'll start to push back into the western part of the state very late Saturday night or early Sunday morning. Notice this is at 5 a.m. and I'll begin the probably snow chance for Sioux City at 5 a.m. Sunday morning. So let's track this rain-snow mix as it moves across the state on Sunday. 9 a.m. in the morning, so Easter egg hunt time, fine in the eastern part of the state and probably okay in the central part of the state too. I'll mention the chance for maybe some isolated snow showers or sprinkles, but I think the vast majority will be dry. But I will say there's a pretty good chance of some scattered snow showers around Sioux City Sunday morning. So if you're in the Sioux City area, you may want to hold off the Easter egg hunts until the afternoon hours because you're actually going to be drying out as you get into the late afternoon. Notice early afternoon, still talking about that rain-snow mix, and notice how it's pushing into the central part of the state, but still dry in the Quad Cities early afternoon. So Easter egg hunts are going to be fine out there during the morning hours. It is going to get windy in the western part of the state. Those gusts getting back up to around 30 miles per hour, but not much wind in the eastern part of the state. So now let's transition to the late afternoon. Notice how things have really dried out around Sioux City. So this is your opportunity, though it is going to be pretty cold and windy. It's going to be drier. So this might be the better opportunity for the outdoor activities. The peak of the activity, rain-snow mix, more likely snow the farther north you are, more likely rain the farther south you are. This is the peak of the activity around Mason City and Waterloo, and I'll begin the chance in the late afternoon finally for the Quad Cities. That said, the peak of the activity in the Quad Cities is not until Sunday evening, so most of Sunday, if you're in the Quad Cities, is looking dry, and eventually this activity will push out during the overnight hours on Sunday. So, how much snow are we talking about? There could be a few spots in the far northwestern part of the state that could have a prolonged period of snow and get up to around an inch. That said, I think a majority of us are going to see a lot less than that. Mason City will probably see a higher total. You'll probably be in the snow a little bit longer. But right now, even most of the models saying only about a half an inch. Sioux City, more likely to be a quarter of an inch. And look at all the places that are probably only going to see a few flakes of snow. And I tell you what, that's what this model's kicking out, that you'll see a few flakes. That's why it says trace amounts. Notice Dubuque, maybe a tenth of an inch. I'm also going to say that there could be some, especially, or maybe Burlington, I would say, as an example, that could just stay all rain and may not actually see any snow on Sunday.